Hi, this is Antoine Williams for LionsPassion.com, and in this video we're looking at the Lions' loss to the LA Rams. Could it possibly be a blessing? Let's take a look at it. Okay, by the numbers. Matthew Stafford went 20 of 33, 245 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception, sacked 4 times, and a quarterback rating of 40. Wow. The only bright spot of the two bright spots of the game was the play of LeGarrette Blount as the primary back. I mean, the numbers doesn't jump out where he went 16 for 61 yards, but the heart in which he ran definitely jumps out. It showed on the field as far as passion. With the receivers, the leading receiver for the day was the tight end, Levine, and I will not butcher his last name, but you can look it up. And right behind, with 4 catches and 90 yards. And then right behind him was Kenny Golladay with 3 catches for 50 yards off of 8 targets. Now let's get into the real. The real is, with that loss, the Lions now are in the 7th position to get as far as the top 10 pick. They're out of the playoff race. They're out of the chance to win the division. So it's really, at this point, you're either playing to protect the pick or you're playing to improve the pick. This is what if the Lions are, as an organization, are serious about getting better and making that jump that so many teams make, that seem like this team was trashed. Now they're in the thick of things, such as Chicago this year. One piece added to what they were already building, and now they're at the, unfortunately for us, they're at the top of our division. One piece. But they had a foundation laid that piece added to it just propelled them. Well, their team, their organization spent time building. And they built through the draft primarily with that one trade. Well, not that one trade, but getting Khalil Mack definitely helped. So the Lions are in a position, not the same exact, but in a position where, okay, this season did not go as planned, obviously. Is it, and it's only Coach Matt Patricia's first year. Will we stick and stay with him long enough to let him implement his system, implement the guys that he feel will, execute the system that he has in mind? If that is the case, and GM Bob Quinn is the guy to do the grocery shopping, then having a top rated pick is monument, because clearly we're going to have a lot of positions of need. I'm expecting Ziggy Ansah to not resign, and I don't think it would be financially in the Lions' best interest to try to franchise tag him again, or go ahead and get a long-term deal done, and with that number 7 pick as it stands right now, get somebody to be his running mate. Get someone on the defensive a defensive end right there. So the pressure on the quarterback, which is kind of the key to the defense for Matt Patricia, seemingly, as well as all defenses, but pressuring the quarterback, which gives the, linebackers time, which gives, makes it a little bit easier for the defensive backs. Let's not play ourselves out of position, trying to, quote unquote, go out of the season with momentum by winning some meaningless games. Let's work on our execution as far as a, team and an offensive system, getting camaraderie, as far as Matthew Stafford, Kenny Galladay, and all of the pieces that the team, Coach Patricia, have in mind that will be here next season, guys that I can count on and depend on. Let's start getting those guys acclimated, to what life is going to be like going forward. But not at the expense of getting a number 7 pick in, or, possibly even better. As it stands right now, San Francisco is number 1. Oakland is number 2. The Jets are number 3. Arizona is number 4. The Giants are number 5. Tampa Bay is number 6. If everyone lose out from here on, the standings will pretty much remain intact as far as that order. And then there's a few crazy situations where if the Lions and the Jets are tied, I think a tiebreaker also plays a factor in there, in addition to the division records. So the chances of the Lions #improving the pick, improve the pick, is there. But let's not make it where we're getting less than the number 7 pick that we already have, and damn sure not play yourselves out of position of the top 10, because that can be a franchise changing talent. Or even if the GM wants to use that 7th pick and possibly trade and get more picks, or however that is, that's an asset, and let's not mess that asset up. It's just looking at this order as far as team needs. All of these teams that's in front of us, with the exception of New York, and possibly the Bucks, depending on how that goes. San Francisco doesn't need a quarterback. Oakland, I presume, will have Derek Carr going forward. The Jets just got Sam Darnold last draft. Arizona just got their quarterback last draft. The Giants might try to get someone to be, the heir apparent to Eli Manning as far as a quarterback. And the Bucks may decide to move on from Jameis Winston, which leaves the Lions and their needs, which is defensive end, possibly a cornerback, possibly a right tackle, a right guard, because going to assume that TJ Lane may not be back with the Lions next season, playing on the field. So it doesn't seem to be where Oakland, the number of defensive players that the Lions could pick, they have a chance of getting the number 1 or number 2 guy. Except depends on which way they want to go. Because if San Francisco picks the number 1 D tackle for whatever reason, and Oakland picks the number 2 D tackle, either the Jets are going to pick the number 1 defensive end or whatever their needs are, but the Lions stand in pretty good position to grab a high-level, game-altering defensive tackle, defensive end. I'm more so saying defensive end because I'm assuming Snacks Harrison will be with the team. Well, the contract dictates that, but if we get a for real, not that the guys that's there aren't for real, but if the system is put in place where you have Snacks as your center, your nose tackle, your DT, and you have the 2 ends or that system of ends where you're rotating guys coming in and they're getting pressure on the quarterback, more likely that good talent sticks around when the system is in place. Will the Lions implement the process of building the system completely before it's time to scrap that, rebuild, go build another system? Will that happen? So, with that being said, let's look a little bit more into this loss and different things that's it's coming about it. Different points. Okay. Is this season a product of Matthew Stafford's play, or is Matthew Stafford's play a product of this season and all the different things that have gone on around it? The trading of Golden Tate, the getting off to a slow start, and key injuries at certain times. Like right now, Kerryon Johnson is out. Getting the chance to have a full running game for an entire season is lost, even though I love the way that LeGarrette Blount handled the ball this game, and I would encourage the Lions to, whatever you have to do to re-sign that guy, re-sign him. Pay extra. Keep the system intact. Matthew Stafford hasn't had the offensive line, the starting offensive line that was, expected to be for the whole season. So is this season and its results more his fault, or is it more a product of the dynamics that's going on around him? More people feel like it's Stafford's fault because, and I'm kind of in that lane, you as a 10-year vet should be able to overcome some of this. Some of this is kind of held at bay because of your veteran leadership, your been through the wars type persona, but your experience. So you should be able to keep a lot of this at bay because you're just smart enough not to allow certain things to happen. You should have a feel for the game to know when to speed it up, even at the, even if the coaching staff is saying go at one speed, certain instincts supposed to tell you 10 years in to change it up. If, it just seems like the defense has your number, why the hell if you keep running into the brick wall and the opening is a little bit down on this side or a little bit down on that side, why keep going straight the hell at it? And it kind of comes off that way with Stafford. It's just the lack of emotion in the way of showing that, damn it, I want to win and I'm tired of losing to some of these damn teams. it doesn't appear to be there in his heart. Damn, what's said in the the locker room and all that, that's cool for amongst the guys, but hell, you can't feel like people don't have the right to say things if you don't show it. They're telling you from their vantage point, like, dude, man, you say the same things. You want the praise when you do something significant, but you don't want to deal with the assessment when you don't want to respect the fact that people see a pattern and they pointing it out. When the team traded Golden Tate, a lot of people saw the pattern and saw the potential of this season going in the tank. When people such as Boomer Esiason and Frank Wright, former NFL quarterbacks, critiquing him as a leader, he tried to play it off like, in so many words, well, you guys are old and you kind of know what you're talking about, but I don't have to play for you. Well, damn it, who the hell do you have to play for? Shit, is it the fans, or is it the organization? Because if you're playing for the organization, then that brings into question the organization goals, because, dude, you're not producing results. Unless the results is, something other than winning, and winning consistently and winning emphatically. What is it? What really is it? So, and then there's always this, maybe it's the same with all quarterbacks, but it's this double-sided type of thing. For instance, some people may feel that he played pretty good in that loss, which, what was his numbers again? 20 for 33, only one interception, which was a costly one, and one touchdown. Got sacked 4 times. He's always given the benefit of the doubt. He's always given the spotlight of the full weight of everything, as far as when they lose, taken off of him, and the spotlight for when they win, is pretty much tunnel visionally put on him, if that's even a phrase, tunnel visionally. But it's damn sure put on him, and overtly, there's not a whole lot done to, as far as when that spotlight is put on them, to, really sharing that. It's kind of like lip service sharing it, but really? Yeah. We just want more. Long story short, it's like, you have to be able to beat, outsmart, and embarrass some of these defensive backs that are clearly not as experienced as you. Their skill set is not as talented as your arm skill set, and very seldomly does it appear that Matthew Stafford is just toying with defenders, because he's just that good. And it's frustrating. It's madly frustrating. So this season, I think, will fall more on the side of being a direct result of Matthew Stafford's play than his play being a result of stuff that happened during the course of a season. Because a lot of the sacks and a lot of the pounding that he's, quote unquote, have taken this year, primarily is on him. A lot of it is on him. I don't have the number for the total of sacks in front of me right now, but a lot of those sacks from watching the game is on him. And it wasn't all, or he was just trying to make a play. Some of it was just not recognizing that the play has broke down and throw the ball out of bounds. Second year quarterback, understanding type stuff. Throwing when the receiver is open. This is just, it just don't make any sense. Long story short, just don't make any sense. And it's like, how do you not take advantage of defenders when you have Kenny Galladay, who was 3 or more inches taller than most defensive backs? How do you not use that to your advantage, such as some of the other quarterbacks that have that disadvantage to their advantage? When they have a receiver that's taller than a defender, they put the ball in the place that gives their receiver the best opportunity to catch the ball. Or they make that person into something better than what he possibly is. I think the receivers have been making Stafford a little bit more than Stafford have been making the receivers. And that's pretty much where it stands. But this season, the Lions are headed for the draft. And that's not necessarily a terrible thing if this is the bitter pill that we have to take, so that next year and the year after next is when the real results come about. Then, Lions fans, let's take this bitter pill and let's get these results. Yeah, let every other team in the division have their, have their time in the sun, but if the GM and Coach Patricia do it right, we will be basking in the sun for a considerable amount of time. I'm Antoine Williams. This is for LionsPassion.com. Lions lose to the LA Rams 30-16. Playoff? No. NFL draft bound. Hashtag protect the pick. Hashtag improve the pick. You choose. Peace.